No red lipstick.
Do you want me to start?
No.
Kia ora and welcome to Neat and Not by the Sea Flosstube video number
51.
Woohoo!
Or 52.
It is Thursday, the 1st of June. We are halfway through the year and that's terrifying. We're Neat and Not by the Sea. I think I said that already. I'm Victoria.
Kia ora, my name is Catherine. Aroha mai. My pronouns are she, her.
Okay, so we'll start this off awkwardly as we always do with a bit of chat. So it has been 3 weeks since our last video because both Catherine and I attended a class last Thursday, which was our normal scheduled filming night. Do you want to talk? I'm going to cough.
Yes, so we went to a class run by Jo Dixie. She's a British embroiderer who trained at the Royal School of Needlework, and she lives in New Zealand, and she's now a New Zealander. And she was doing 2 classes at Stitch Witches, which is our local embroidery shop. And I signed up for 1 class, and Victoria signed up for 2.
Yes, I did.
So maybe you can talk about the first one first.
Excellent. So
We had a great time, by the way.
It was
we'll
great.
Tell you a little bit.
Oh, do we
about
want to
it.
talk about the classes now and show the works, or? Yeah, okay, we'll do it.
Yeah.
So the first one was, I think it was playing with stitches.
Mm-hmm.
And it was literally just that. We came in, we looked at, maybe a dozen different sorts of stitches, and then we just played around with, changing the shapes. And so there's a whole pile of different chain stitches there, whose names I can't remember. There is some, what is
Fly
that?
stitch.
Herringbone stitch there, so that's your basic herringbone stitch. That was experimenting with putting them close together. That is giving a 3D effect with sort of overlapping
That's cool.
them, and then that's just random stitches everywhere. We did these little, I didn't write it down, but they look like wee tentacles. They come up off the thing. They were fun.
So it's with a knot, isn't it?
It's with a knot, yes. You tie stuff around a needle and then you pull the needle out, and it was fun. We did a good old French knots. Did a bit of feather stitch and fly stitch, and it was just really fun. It was a nice way to spend an evening. And I learnt lots of new stitches.
And you were really lucky because it was a tiny
It
class.
was only 3 of us. That was fantastic one-on-one.
Yeah. So I didn't sign up for the class because I don't need help in not following the rules. And thankfully I didn't sign up because I wouldn't have been able to go anyway because I was with my youngest. But we both took the class on Thursday, which was thread painting, long and short stitch. Victoria was amazing at this.
Do you know, it's not...
Victoria was amazing at this, really, like a natural, like really good finish.
I'll show you mine. So there's actually 3 shades of green in that leaf, but looking at it, I think you'd only think there were 2. And then we
you can
started
see
the
3.
flower. It was fun. I was sick both these nights, and I was wearing a mask and
Not really
had
talking.
a cold,
Which is a shame.
but it was good.
So we had the same amount. No, put it there because I wanted to show. We had the same amount of time, and we
This is
sort
great.
of. I can't follow the rules, so she was like, if you take a pattern fabric, it's less easy to do. Pattern fabric. So we kind of finished the same amount, but you can't really tell on the screen. Can you put yours nearer? The blue was my best effort because it was the second thing we did. But even then, it's not as good as Victoria's.
Oh, it
And the
is.
leaf, stop it. It's not about modesty. The leaf, this is amazing. This is amazing. She did really well. But I learned a lot. I was really happy with what I learned.
Yeah.
I learned that the technique that I was doing before wasn't quite right. Although I do think if you asked 100 embroidery teachers, they would all have something slightly different to tell you, so that's fine.
And she gave me the best hint, because we all know that I've interrupted.
No, not at all.
Framing stuff is really expensive, and so I have a lot of, I have quite some unframed stuff in my house that I've got on display. But I was like, how do you clean it? How do you stop the dust getting onto it? She said, stick a piece of pantyhose over the vacuum cleaner, and then just vacuum the front of it. Vacuum it. I thought that was fantastic.
Yeah. Do you have tights?
I'm sure I do. I've got a bag of all that sort of stuff.
Okay, yeah.
Do you want some tights?
No, I have some, but I'm also not as concerned as you are about dust.
I was thinking of my gold work piece that I'm not going to get framed because it was only sort of a learning piece. But I still display it in its hoop, and it was just like, it's going to get sticky dust all over it.
But the other thing that you could also do is, rather than put the pantyhose over your piece, is put the pantyhose over the
the end of the
mouth
cleaner.
of the vacuum cleaner. Because I know that from quilting.
Yeah.
They put a very fine mesh over it, and then they very gently. It's not like hoovering your house. It's like hoover, please, like vacuum, please, down and up, 0.5 millimeter forward, down and up, and yeah. Oh no.
Could be something. I'm just going to check where it is.
Oh, for goodness sakes, Dom. Martin's just come back. He's supposed to be doing he's part of the Hawkesbury Lagoon community conservation, whatever, nurse group, but that man's all over the place. He doesn't know when it is. Anyway.
Beauty of retirement.
Indeed. And it's voluntary. So, learnt lots.
Learnt lots. She was really lovely. She had
was really lovely.
Quite a few examples of her work. She'd brought a little photo album which showed both her commercial stuff and her...
Oh, I didn't look at that.
Did you not? There was some good stuff in there.
That's not bothered. I mean, I follow her on Instagram anyway, so I've seen her work. I was just really more interested in... And it's really funny, if you're not interested in the subject, well, if I'm not interested in the subject, I don't even want to pick it up. It's funny. But she had this one piece that was a feather. Oh my God, I've got a thing about feathers.
Stunning.
So beautiful. So yeah, and also really interesting because she lives from being an embroiderer, so that's cool. But yeah, she was just a cool person.
She was. Very cool.
Yeah.
It was great. And so what
I
else?
probably would do another class. Not in the same. I actually fancy doing a goldwork class from her.
Her gold work was amazing. In her little photo album, she had these beautiful slippers that she'd made, which apparently she made for herself for her wedding.
I'm telling the world that you're a disorganized so-and-so. Love you, though. The world, like 20 people that watches us. I liked her gold work because of her subject matter. Yeah.
Cool.
In reality, though, I need to recover from having taken a class.
I know. You need to take
Yeah.
have a wee 3-year break.
Yeah, I need emotional recovery time. So cool.
What else have you been up to in the last couple of weeks?
So it was my birthday. I'm 51 now, which is not nearly as exciting as being 50.
Almost 60. You're pretty much over the hill.
Oh, I love getting older. It's the best thing. I had a lovely day. I picked up Christina from Invercargill, and we came home over 2 days, which was lovely. I was telling them yesterday in the Spanish Flosstube, the first day we didn't really talk. She was exhausted, bless her. And I was like, is this going to be one of those mum trips where I think we're going to do something and it actually turns out I'm just driving and paying for lunch? But it was lovely. The second day was lovely. She had slept really well. It took us a whole day to come from Riverton to Dunedin. And we were going to stop somewhere for the night. But actually, it was just like, the food's not great. Let's just drive home, have a takeaway, get home and see Dad. So that was really lovely. It was just so lovely to see her after, I think she was away for about 3 months. She might have come after a month and a half, but anyway, it was just lovely to see her, spend time with her, look after her a little bit, which I think means lending her the car. But it had been her 21st, so she went out with friends in Dunedin, because she's got friends from school and uni, and they went out for a meal, and then they went to play pool. This is Christina.
Oh, yeah.
I was so surprised. And I was allowed to meet her in the pool house after.
Oh, you didn't have to wait out in the car.
No, I didn't have to, like... Because she said, oh, you can come. And I know both the friends that ended up at the pool house with her. I was just so lovely. I was like, oh, my girl's growing up. So that was lovely. And then she was...
Did your gift arrive?
On the last day. And she wasn't going to go to the post office, but I said to her, can you please go to the post office and just explain to them that you're leaving the island and what to do about your parcel? Because I never talked about it on the Flosstube. I mean, I'm 100% certain the girls don't watch this, but I had made her a silver bangle for her 21st, and I had engraved something like, keep being you, you're marvelous, but in Spanish. I learned my lesson from Sophia, so it wasn't was a more neutral gift than Sophia's. That was, I think, maybe possibly not to her taste at this age. So I thought, right, a bangle she will enjoy. And then Martin posted it. Do you think he remembered the tracking number? He lost the tracking number immediately. So we couldn't track it. And it literally took about 20 days to arrive.
Oh.
Not impressed.
But she got it in the end. It's not just sitting in the post box somewhere.
That's right. She got it. So she had like Lindt chocolate, and she had that. And Martin had sent her a little treat and her cards, and so it was all lovely. And then Sophia made me a gift, which also arrived late because life's like that. But it was lovely. I felt really treated because, you know, young kids, you know, they're in their own worlds. So it felt lovely that she'd taken the effort to make me a card, because we prefer made cards. And she made me some chocolate at one of those like little make your own chocolate cafe type places in Wellington.
Cool.
And the wrapper was with like the Andes and a young girl from the Andes with a costume and everything. It was just lovely. And the flavor was coffee and almond. So I knew that she hadn't made it for herself and then thought, oops, I'll give it to Mum. Like, it was
She's
clearly,
deliberately chosen those flavours because she's
definitely for me. So that was super lovely.
That's so nice.
And Martin was lovely, and we had a lovely day for my birthday. Oh my God, he came through with a gift. Did I tell you?
No.
Oh my Lord. Should I bring and show them?
Yes.
Drat. Okay,
You
I'll
start-
bring and show
we'll get
them.
it at the end.
Oh, whatever. I'll bring it in a sec. He organized to have some Mapuche earrings, silver earrings, made in Chile, and had them sent.
That's amazing. That's like proper organisation and
That is probably
effort.
the most thoughtful gift he's given me in 32 years.
That's amazing.
I know. He did well. We laughed because we were like, next year we'll be going back to be crap.
Get your Maltesers from the gas station.
Yeah, that's right. So that was really lovely. And I love the Mapuche jewellery and stuff. So that was great.
Did he choose well?
If terrible.
Martin's not going to watch this.
No, Martin does watch. No, Martin does watch.
just
It was
say yes.
lovely. If I had chosen, I would have gone for their traditional designs. But what the Mapuche do now is they make their traditional designs for them, but they also make designs that are more palatable to tourists. So that's what I got, which is actually very much my style.
Mm-hmm.
They're very long and dangly, but I really wanted the traditional ones. They actually look very different. You don't see any design. They're kind of hanging like this. So the design is seen by the person next to me. But that's okay. I mean, I still love them, but I still feel like I want to have a pair of traditional ones.
That's all right. You don't have to stop
Yeah.
it. Just
I'm going to
fine.
bring them to show them. You play background music.
Okay. Well, I'll talk about what I've been doing the
That's
last
right.
3 weeks.
Yeah.
I got sick, which was really awful because it was just a cold. But it was right through my busy week, which I went with my sister and brother-in-law to see Dylan Moran, the British comedian, which was quite good. I know there's been some not so great reviews about his current show, but I thought it was fine. Very much his normal style. I've seen him before.
Was he funny
And
though?
I laughed. The worst thing were the seats, so, you know, it's good. Well, they're very nice. You go for it. It's fine. When we had the 2 days at the Joe Dixie class, and then on the Friday,
No, it's dark.
oh, got you on. Which one was it? On the Friday, I went to see my nephew in his school play, and he was wonderful.
Middle on the right.
It's like you think I know my left and right.
I said middle on the right. You
It was
numpty.
right.
Oh, middle on the left.
You don't know your left and right.
They're all looking. Yeah, whatever. What did you say? Go to place. Good girl. What were you saying?
The musical was The Addams Family,
Oh, that's right.
and he was great.
Cool. I kind of feel like there was something else.
For you or for me?
Was it for both? I don't know. These are my earrings.
I think they're beautiful.
They are beautiful. They're really beautiful. And this is very much my style. And it's got the danglies. These are little danglies. And, you know, it goes with my big pechera. So I do love them. But, you know, any excuse to want more. So I do want some traditional ones. But it was amazing. It
It's
came in an actual jewellery box. Like, I don't get stuff like this from Martin. He's not thoughtful in the gift giving sort of way. That's
great. That's such a special gift for your 50th first.
Yeah, it just felt epic that because he had to organise it.
Yeah. And obviously he organised it enough to arrive more or less on time.
Yes. I mean, he had a colleague that was from Chile. That's how he was able to organise it. But even so.
Yeah.
Yes. So anyway, good gift, good birthday. Christina's now on her way to Europe, which has been giving me nightmares.
Are you doing better? Because you were feeling a bit antsy last time.
Now that she's not here, now that she has started, it's feeling better. It's like the night before an exam.
Yeah.
So I do feel better. I want her to have a wonderful time, and I don't want to be a clingy mother that ruins her holiday. Like, go and have fun and great. And I think it's just the young people go and have fun, and the older people worry. That's just how it is. I'm a mum, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, but the nightmares have not been fun. It's been a combo of nightmare / hot flush. Not good. Generally not good. And there was tears. And also TMI. What a surprise.
We passed that line ages ago.
Yeah, we passed that line ages ago. So I'm perimenopausal, right? So I don't really get periods. TMI.
Did you get a stress period?
But I know when my period is happening. I just don't get it because I have a Mirena IUD thing. TMI, I'm sorry. But I can tell when I'm having a period. Like, I can tell because I cry more. I'm not going to go into details, but I can just tell. So it was like, why do I have to get this phantom, very, very, very light period when I'm saying goodbye to my youngest child that's going to Europe? Like, it's not fair. So there were tears for 3 nights running. And then, of course, the same thing's going to happen when Sophia goes at the end of the month. It's also going to be another period time. So we okay, like, if you're a mum, like, I know you'll agree. You'll understand how I felt. But I said to Martin, okay, I have to have a mantra. And my mantra was like, Christina's lovely. She's going to be great. She's going to have a good time. That's my little mantra so that I could get to sleep. The nightmares were not fun. There were some horrid nightmares, and there were some nightmares where I would wake up because I'd reached the edge of a cliff and I didn't realise. Anyway, to Christina, in the future when she comes around to watching this when she's in her 50s, I was fine. It's like a very mum thing to do, to worry about your children, even though you have every confidence that they're going to do great and they're wonderful people. And life's fantastic, you know, but it was just like, But I get the impression that we've done something that we're not mentioning.
Have a look at my book.
Did we not hang out?
Well, we hung out the other time when we got takeaways for tea because I was too lazy to cook.
That's right. I get my takeaway fix from going to Victoria's house.
Like, sorry, I can't be asked cooking. We'll just get them.
She still hasn't given me just chips, though. She gets all fancy on me. All I want is chips and mayo.
We can arrange that. In the air fryers, they're a little bit soggy.
That's all right. Anyway, so I think that was me. I get the impression that there was more. Did you not go somewhere for someone's birthday? Your grandma?
No.
Great, that's the dog.
That's the joke. Maybe it'll come to us.
Yeah. We've had a rich 3 weeks.
Yeah, I don't quite know what's happened, but it's been 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay, let's crack on. Do you want to show you?
I was going to say, it's also 18 minutes. What am I showing?
Anything you want.
Okay, so do you have... You have to ask. Any FOs?
Do you have any FOs?
No.
Do you have any FFOs?
No.
Do you have any whips?
Yes.
Excellent.
And I've made tons of progress. Yesterday, when I filmed the one in Spanish, I showed 3 whips, when actually it was only 1 where I'd made progress. So I'm only showing 1 today. And so this is a Dutch Beauty.
Ooh, I haven't seen that out for a while.
I was trying to rotate. And I've made quite a lot of progress. I'm very pleased with this.
Oh, you have?
Dun-dun!
You've done this.
So this is the project where I dyed the fabric with the yellow pom-pom flower from that buddleia. So normally the buddleias that people recognize the most are the purple ones, but this is a little pom-pom flower and it's bright yellow. So that's what I use to dye the fabric, which I love. And I'm using this is 42 count after dyeing, and I'm also just using the the colors that I just happen to have in my stash. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying not to open new flosses. I'm trying to use the dregs that you have given me, because I think that's pretty cool. So, fun things to note and to make Victoria uncomfortable, although that doesn't work so much now.
I've grown immune.
Yeah, you have grown immune. So this is one color, and then I got confused, and somewhere here there's a different color.
It does still bother me.
And then I run out, and then I've got a completely different brown. I love it. I'm so happy.
It's like that one cross stitch you did that's got like 4 different reds in it. The red alphabet.
I love it. It's like stuff from back in the day when people did run out. See? 1, 2, 3. I love it. This is like one of my favorite things.
It is great. I do love that one.
But I'm so glad you're still a bit uncomfortable. That's great. That makes life worth it. But can you see? Can you see that this is a different colour?
Oh, yes, you can see. And then you've just
There's
gone
like-
completely different down the
There's
side.
like 8 stitches here that are different colour. But I thought, right, I'm amused by this. But also, it does come from the dregs, you know, from those cardboard strips that have bits left over. But also, okay, in the pattern is green. Mm-hmm. I was like, nah, we're doing brown.
Okay.
And I thought in nature, you do have different tones of colours of browns
Yeah,
in one same
This is
tree.
a realistic cross stitch.
I love it.
I'm
I've
not going for
changed it.
hyper realism on these things.
I've kept the gold skirt, but I've
Do love
changed
the gold skirt.
the shield.
Stealing your thing.
Yeah, steal away.
Oh, yeah.
And I should say, I actually finished this area as well, which is like the checkerboard design up to the end here.
Ooh,
So I did make. It's so funny because you're like slaving away for 4 hours one night. And it's like, oh, very little progress.
I know that feeling.
Yeah. So yeah, that's me as far as cross stitch is concerned.
Now, according to my book, my book of days, we have now finished the Alice in Wonderland sticker pages. But according to my
what
book,
are you on now?
oh, I'll show you what I'm doing now. Sorry, slight diversion. Look, we've got sparkly under the sea creatures.
Ooh. She actually gets excited about this.
Cool. Look at this. They're so shiny. They're so glittery.
Oh, I don't want you to be jealous, but Christina went to the aquarium in Auckland.
Oh, I'm so jealous. I still have my necklace that I bought there. Well, my mum had bought it for me when I was like 7. It's a clear dolphin with these 4 little seashell beads in it. And you shake it and this glitter moves. It's so cool.
I've never seen you wear it.
I'll wear it for the next one.
With your unicorn badge.
But anyway, according to my book, I have actually worked on a peacock, a unicorn, and a badger. I'm not quite sure what I did.
Show it anyway.
I'll show you anyway. I think I know what I did, but I'm not sure. So if I'm repeating from last time, I apologise. I think I filled in that peach there. Sorry, still getting over the cold. That peach there and that leaf there. And I've started the brown and the branch. But I do love this one.
It is fantastic.
Can't wait until Home Sweet Home is done and I can get back into it properly. And some of my others. That's great.
Cool.
Do you have something else to show?
Nothing that's embroidery related. So you do all your embroideries because then we'll go into other things.
Well, I haven't got any other things, so let's just keep going.
So you haven't got any other cross stitch or embroidery?
I've just got the Home Sweet Home.
Let's talk about that.
All right. So you all know I'm working on the Home Sweet Home, which my class is at the first weekend of July. And in the last couple of weeks, I finished the spool holder stitching. At the retreat, I think I did those 3 oranges. I kept them in, I didn't unpick them. But I finished those. It's pretty cute. And I also finished the front and the back of the emery block, the scissor keep, and the needlebook. It took so long to stitch that chain stitch border around the end with the gold metallic thread.
Oh, God.
Oh, what I thought would take
Can I
me
have a
one night
look?
took me 2.
Can I have a look at that? That sounds really painful. Is that chain stitch?
Yeah, the green is chain stitch.
Oh, the green. Sorry, I thought
the
I thought the gold was.
The gold is stem stitch.
Oh yeah.
But the thread was fraying, and
God, it's a pain.
did not have a good night last night doing that.
Oh my goodness, I love you, little ladybird. Look at the ladybird. That is adorable. Cute.
Oh, so that's what, 3 down or 4 down, and I have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 elements to finish this month. So hopefully we'll be good.
What do you call this stitch? The little flowers.
That is a raised cross stitch.
Cross stitch.
Yep. So you do a cross stitch or a cross, and then you like do weaving things.
Ah, okay. That's very cute. I like those 2 stitches. Very cute. This is very pretty. I can't see. They got foggy.
But I'm thinking I've done, with doing the spool holder and the needle book, I think I've done the 2 onerous ones where there's lots of different types of stitching and concentrating. So I'm hoping, at least I'm kidding myself, that I'll be able to get everything done.
You will be able to get everything done.
But look, that's quite a...
It is a bit
That's all
unfortunate
finished
that
elements.
you're actually properly ill, so you
Oh,
can't even...
I had a whole week where I pretty much did no stitching related to this.
And that is a shame. Because we don't mind being sick if we have the capacity to embroider.
But no, it was lying on my bed, watching telly on my phone. Excellent. And that is all I have done in the last 3 weeks.
Great. That sounds good, though. I'm going to wear my new earrings. I'm going to
Nice.
dangle.
What have you been up to?
I think what happened is I did that one cross-stitch project, and then I just went on a mad, I am going to finish quilts.
Nice.
Quilt
Did you get
tops.
anything finished?
I got 2 quilt tops finished.
Well done.
Yes. So, in fact, I'm not going to show you that now. No, let's scratch that because they're at the bottom of the pile. So I am going to show you my natural dyeing.
Oh,
The progress that I have made.
I'm loving these colours.
So I'm just going to show you. I'm not going to bring out the other pile. Once I finish all my experiments. By the way, if you live in Dunedin, if you live in Waikouaiti, Karitane or Waitati or Palmerston, and you know of the existence of I've forgotten the word, the minute I started talking about it, I've forgotten, that plant that gives you itching.
All plants give me itching.
No,
I don't know.
Dagnam, it's very rich in iron.
Oh, you're talking about not poison ivy.
No,
I don't know. It's plants, not my jam.
that's annoying. Anyway, this is about half of my dyeing with cochineal,
It's so pretty.
and I'll talk about them one by one. So
This one you could do to stitch that thing on that we were looking at earlier.
I've got a few like that I could. So
that's code. That's coming up later.
what? Code?
That was code that you could stitch that thing on. I wasn't telling them what.
Oh,
that
I
was.
see.
It'll come up later.
Sorry. Okay, so this is walnut shells with alum, cochineal with iron.
Cochineal's the bugs, right?
Yeah. And it came out with a kind of purple.
Beautiful.
This is not the best light, is it?
Mm.
Oh no, we have. I wonder if
Turn
we could
the
have
side ones on.
side ones here. So that would be the very first one at the top on the left. Yeah, normally that's what would actually be on. Yes. No better but in mind. Let's use up the photovoltaic system. Oh no, this is better. This is better.
I've made a mess.
This is significantly better. Oh, look at my hair. Fantastic. Look like.
Oh, we can see everyone. Hello.
Anyway, so that. It's purpler. It's looking grayer in the screen, but it's purpler. Then this one. So I had mordanted this one again. This is the ones where I had tried New Zealand flax flower stalks with alum. And then it was cochineal and iron. So they recommend that if you're using cellulose fabrics to do 2 mordants, one with alum or soy milk, whatever you decide, plus something with tannins, which is why I had the New Zealand flax stalks. They are rich in tannins. That's the 2. And these will come later for a good reason. And then we've got these that are more, they're kind of purplish but going more towards magenta, I think. See, when I saw them in real life, I thought, oh, that's purple. But when you put them next to the other purple, they're not really purple, so difficult to know. And they have come out a bit blotchy, which was my intention because I wanted them to be a bit blotchy. So this one is walnut shells and alum with cochineal, just cochineal. And same here. So the difference between these two is that this is walnut shells and this is New Zealand flax stalks and flowers. So quite similar in real life. They're a bit more different on the screen, I think. Oh, now they look similar. So then,
on your little cards, you've got 14 grams written. What is that, 14 grams of?
I had to weigh each fabric to work out how much cochineal to put in because I was putting in about 10%. It's quite an expensive thing to do because cochineal is not cheap. So to dye all my cochineal fabrics, I'll end up with 14 pieces. No, 16 pieces are about this size. And it will have cost me, only in the cochineal, it will have cost me about $24. So, I mean, I can see why people do acid dyes. It's a lot cheaper. Anyway, I like to mess around and play. So, oh, and this is the, I didn't do floss for all of them, but this is the floss for this. I need to tidy it up a little bit. So, very happy with this. And then, these two that look very pale, but they are very pale pink, are cochineal alone, but again, New Zealand flax stalk, walnut shells, but this is a second dip. So I'd already used the water with the cochineal for the other lot of fabrics, and it still looked quite dark, and then when you put these in, this is what you get. So that's what we would say, the dye materials have exhausted themselves. So there wasn't a lot of colour in it. But I really I think these are quite usable colours. I will use them. It's in real life, there's a very subtle hint of pink.
It's almost a sort of a lilac-y pink.
Yeah, yeah. You can see how is the distant cousin of this, right?
Definitely belong in the same family.
Yeah. So, well, I made a mess here. And then I'll show you my failure now. I had a fat failure.
See, I think that's really pretty.
Yeah, but if I'm doing cochineal, this is a failure. Yeah. Because these two were supposed to be cochineal plus iron plus New Zealand flax flower. But it was a second dip because I'd already used that for my other results. So when I did it, there was actually no cochineal colour left.
It's come out a beautiful stone
But
colour.
because of the iron, it came out grey. And actually, I said to Martin, it doesn't really matter. Well, A, it's not a business. I'm just having a jolly. But also, all the prim stuff's all about the greys. So I actually count this as a victory. I was going to re-dye it. And I thought, no. This is another set of greys that I can enjoy.
It's beautiful.
So, I wanted to show you because I don't want you to think that when you're dyeing with natural or acid dyes that everything comes out perfect. Like, there are failures. Even with my very wide parameters of what I'm happy with, there are things that you think, oh, and then there's like, oh, great, I'm still happy with them. And I have 4 drying up there, which I'll show you next time. And even though, so cellulose fibers are harder to dye. So even though the fabric is not accepting dye, I can see there is color in the water. So I'm putting wool yarn because that will be easier to absorb the color. And it's the process of exhausting the dye so that when you throw the water away, you're not throwing other materials in as well. You do that with acid dyes and you do it with natural dyes as well. You try and use up all the color before you get rid of your water.
Is that so you're not wasting it? Is it more so you're not putting sort of toxins and...
Well, from my perspective, there is really nothing toxic in what I'm using. You can do quite toxic natural dyes. Like in the past, they would have used tin and they would have used chrome. I wouldn't do that. Some people still do, I'm just not interested in doing that. For me, it's more like cashmeres are expensive, so I'll use up
What
most
you
of the
can,
colour. Yeah.
And you've got some beautiful variations in that.
Yeah, and when you use iron, you use a tiny little amount. Tiny, 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 tiny. And so what I do is when I'm finished dyeing with a particular dye pot, I don't just throw it down the sink. I actually fill up my sink with like water, do my washing up, whatever I need to do, and then before I dump that water, I put my dye stuff in there so it's even further diluted. Yeah.
Now tell me, what form does your iron come in? Are you just like throwing rusty nails in a pot, or is it?
No, I used to have an iron fish, but I've lost it now. Long story. Yeah, it was an iron fish that
I remember your iron fish.
Yeah. So I stopped having that for iron when I started having infusions. But I came across a method for doing indigo dyeing with iron, so I have a bag of actual iron.
Okay.
I think it's called iron sulfate. So I'm just using that for the time being. So, yeah, but I'm really happy with this. Oh gosh, I forgot to say. So from our last Flosstube, Nithya had this idea that we would do a Zoom. You don't have to come. I know you're super busy, but she was interested in doing a Zoom to discuss natural dyes.
Okay.
So I'm going to do a Zoom to discuss natural dyes. I'm disorganized, so I didn't think of the date. So I will have to think about a date. And the way we'll do it is going to be at the end of June. Hopefully I'll do a little, if I feel like I'm running out of time, I'll do a little video. Maybe I'll even look at the calendar whilst we're doing this. I don't know. But I'm not going to put a public Zoom. I'm going to set up a Zoom thing. If you're interested in taking part, it's going to be in English. Contact me via Instagram or the comments section, because I check most days. It comes up on my phone. And I will send you the link. Okay? Nithya's idea was that people could do a donation to charity if they were interested in joining. And you can certainly do that. But I'm not going to set anything up. It would be like, well, if you've joined and you've had a good time, donate to a charity. So,
it's beautiful.
I do love it. I'm slightly obsessed. I'm like, when am I going to end?
No, it's great, because eventually you'll be like, I won't use these, Tori. Here is all these calico, these things. Linen, thank you.
I should say, this last lot, I've used sewing linen for clothes. I actually looked. I think I can embroider on this. It was because in the stitch retreat, someone said that they had stitched on 106.
Oh.
And she said, you can do it. You just need the right magnification. And I thought, you know what? I just can't afford to keep buying embroidery linen. So I went and almost 1.5 meters of 1.35 width was $28.
Yeah, it's a big cost saving, isn't it?
Yeah, it was like, it cost me a sixth of what it would cost me to do embroidery linen. And you know me, I love to kind of beat the system. So I'm really happy about these.
Plus surface embroidery, perfect for it.
No, but even for cross stitch, I can totally see, I can totally do it. So I'm really happy. I did have a good look in Spotlight before I made the decision. And the other thing as well, did you know that if you're within a certain amount of the bolt running out, they'll sell it to you for like $2.50 a meter?
No, I need to be looking at the mostly running out bolts.
Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah. So yay. Okay, now you have to talk, because I've talked a lot in my mouth and my throat.
You made me show all my stuff.
Okay. Okay, quilts. Very quickly, quilts. But do you have purchases?
No.
Oh gosh.
No, I've got nothing to show. I'm done.
Oh, sorry. I thought you had purchases. Okay.
No, you're the Miss Moneybags in this relationship this week.
Okay, I have finished 2 quilts.
Woohoo.
Sorry, 2 quilt tops. I haven't quilted them yet.
I saw this one laid out. It's gorgeous.
Yes. I have posted both on Instagram, so you will have seen them. Oh, gosh, I do like a stack of quilts. So good. So I have finished these 2 quilts.
Well done. So that was your half square
Tops.
triangle?
Yes, so this one's the half square triangle.
Well done.
I love it so much. Consider the lilies, the embroidery pattern. I always mention that the photo is sitting on a quilt. It's a half square triangle quilt. I love it. So I posted on Instagram so you can see the photo on my bed. I still need to quilt it, but the other day I spent a few hours deconstructing shirts because I found a red shirt.
Where did you find a red shirt? That
I think
like
it was
pajama
Wellington.
top?
No, there was a shirt. In Wellington.
They're so
It was
classy in Wellington.
$8, mind. So this is going to be the buyer's binding. And I think it's going to
Beautiful.
look fabulous.
Gorgeous.
I'm super happy with this because I think it needs a good full stop
Mm-hmm.
because it's busy. So bam! And if I run out,
Oh, I like that too.
it's going to be finished off with that, which is designy. It's got a pattern, but I think that will work really well. I quite like running out of, what a surprise. I quite like running out of buyer's binding and then you have this like, oopsie little section. So I'm super happy with this.
So what are you going to do with these quilts? Like, are they for who? For whom? Which
For
bed?
home.
Just display. In
For
use.
what, in my one bedroom house? for my house. And then I've got this one. And for this one, so this is the flying geese. I am very happy with this. I have finished it and it's quite...
Show this half where it goes. Shows the geese in different directions.
Oh yeah. There's quite a few changes in direction. But so I finished it and because of the type of pattern, the edge is quite straight, so the edge here is quite straight. But when I come to do the buyer's binding, I'm actually going to make it asymmetrical. Maybe to make Victoria uncomfortable.
It's
Dunno.
working. Although all my quilts that I've ever made are not square.
Oh yeah, I'm never interested in having a square one, but I particularly want an asymmetrical one because I think it will play with my head and it'll be funny. Anyway, I came across this pajama bottoms in an op shop when I went traveling with Martin not that long ago. It's Paisley.
Beautiful.
I'm not a fan of Paisley. Paisley is normally too much. I already have a busy brain. Like I don't need Paisley in my life, but somehow this really worked.
The blue and turquoise is lovely.
And I really wanted to wear the pajamas. I don't wear pajamas. And I was so tempted. I was like, no, it's for the quilt. So this is going to be my full stop.
Beautiful.
And I think I'm really happy with it. I think I've got enough. If I don't have enough, I'll finagle something. So I did spend...
How much fabric do you get out of a shirt or a pair of pajamas or whatever?
One shirt gives you enough buyer's binding for a quilt, usually. I think this one here. So there is a woman I follow who has her quilt video.
Excuse me.
She's from the south of America. Can't remember what she's called. I am very amused because I love her. Sometimes you just kind of fall in love with someone's voice. She speaks very slowly. But I like her because she quilts, not exclusively, but with a lot of men's shirts. I do have like American op shop envy, which I know is a problem, like in America. Too much production of textiles and too much waste. So I know it's a problem, but if we ignore the problem side of things, oh my God, what fun to go op shopping in America.
Yeah.
So she uses mostly, she definitely uses a lot of shirts, and she has a lot of episodes where she talks about how to cut up a shirt and blah, 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 blah. She did a session where she bought extra small, medium, large, 1XL, 2XL, 3XL, and worked out how many meters you get for buyer's binding. So
That's cool.
I think I've got enough with that. This one here is a 3XL, but it's short sleeves. So she tends to buy long sleeve 3XL if she can. But she said you definitely would get enough with an XL shirt. So anyway, I'm going to try and remember what her name is and put it at the bottom, because if you're a quilter, there aren't enough quilty videos that I love. So yes, I'm really happy. So you can't see it here, but I've got a bag of my fabric from my craft pantry, because I think at the bottom of that bag is that other quilt that I only did. Do you remember that quilt that I started for Christina? And then it became very obvious that it wasn't Christina's, that it wasn't her look.
Is that the one with circles in it?
No, it's the one, it was a lot of reds. in a square grid, misshapen, of course, because it's me.
Were there stars involved?
No.
You've made a lot of quilts.
No, that's what I ended up making for
Yeah,
her.
okay.
Instead of the red one. So anyway, I realised, I was having lunch with a new friend, and she was talking about someone that had done a quilt with little people with speech bubbles.
Cool.
And I thought, oh, that's what I'll do. I'll take that quilt, which is, I stopped halfway through, so it's half a quilt, and the other half is going to be plain, but it's going to have like a little something with people with speech bubbles.
That's
I
so
thought
cool.
That was cute. Yeah, that was cute. So, anyway, so that's that. But I have spent quite a bit of my time deconstructing shirts, because otherwise I know that they won't get used. This is my Mexican one, and this is going to be bias binding for something, and I'm going to do it on the sides so that the bias binding looks like this, which is cute.
Pretty.
Yes. So I think that's. Oh no, I've got a book. I've got a book to share. So yeah, I'm feeling very creative, crafty.
That's good.
Yeah.
In the quilt zone. I'm going to have to make a quilt.
A lot of quilt. You are going to have to make a quilt. A lot of quilty goodness going on. Oh, I wanted to show you. I don't know. Is anyone interested in dyes? Oh, maybe I'll do it in the Zoom. I won't show you this today because no. But I will show you my nitty. Making progress on my friend's vest.
It's lovely.
I love the simple cable. I've split for the armhole. I was actually about here, and then I realized that I wasn't decreasing fast enough. So I undid, and I'm knitting again. And I try only to work on this on the bus. So, because otherwise I'll just finish it too quickly. The whole point is to have something for the bus. So, although I must kind of finish it soon for her because it's cold now.
It's cold and dark.
Yeah, I love it. Victoria's not enjoying it
Not
so
enjoying.
much. So that. Oh, and I wanted to show you, speaking of quilty, I got the new edition of the Quilt Folk magazine. I still have my subscription.
I thought you cancelled that one.
No, I was going to. I asked Kate if I should cancel. She took about 3 days to respond, by which time I had renewed. And in fact, I messaged her to say, Quilt Folk arrived, and I said to Martin, before I even opened it, I was like, I think I'm going to cancel my subscription now. And then I opened the magazine, and the writing has got a lot better, judging me. But it just has. It used to be quite twee. The writing has definitely got a lot better. And there are some great quilts that I just love.
Gorgeous.
So I'm still going to cancel my subscription because Little House, like that's a fact. But I wanted to particularly show you one quilt by this woman. So things to love about Quilt Folk. Tell me if you have a subscription. That would be interesting to me and what you think of it. I really love how after all the protests that took over the world about Black Lives Matter, they very quickly got on board, and their quilt magazines are very mixed and inclusive now.
Oh, excellent.
I think there was a point where it was very white. No, not anymore. Like, I really feel like there are Hispanic people, there are Black people, there are American Indian people, there are, I want to say queer people, but I'm not 100% sure. But it just feels like a magazine where you're not going to open it if you're a person from my minority group and feel like, oh, another white magazine. You know, it's like, it's really inclusive, I think. But I was really taken by this woman. So this edition is it Mississippi? I think this one's Mississippi. Mississippi is famous for its magnolias. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
There's a reason to go.
But I know what a magnolia is, so I'm quietly impressed with myself.
Well done, Victoria. Anyway, she was a quilter from Mississippi, and her quilts are now collected by a couple of institutions, but I just love her work. Hard subjects, because she's a Black woman. She was a Black woman of an age where she would have had very difficult things happen in her life. And this is a quilt that she made, and it's called After My Father's Funeral.
Oh.
Her father was killed by a white man, and nothing happened. There was no justice. And after that, the whole family, so the wife and the 8 kids left the farm. They had a farm So these are stories that really need to be heard, but also look at the artistry, just beautiful, beautiful. So I was very inspired by her work, but also, so I was talking to Fiona. Hi Fiona. I had such a lovely lunch. This is why the Flosstube's so great. You meet some great people. I'm really a traditionalist at heart. Look at that. It's blinking amazing. Do you love?
Oh, I do love.
And then, don't judge me, Victoria, because I know you're judging me. You're like, this is the season of judging Catherine. I know it. Look at this one.
Well, I liked that one too.
It's applique, and I think there's so much scope for making it wonky. Come on, let's make a quilt together. Let's make a quilt together.
Aww.
It'll be so much fun, Victoria.
I don't know, it wouldn't. It really wouldn't. We would not gel well.
You know, but we each make our style. You can measure. Anyway, this is just absolutely stunning.
Gorgeous.
And so these are quilts from the Mississippi. I'm looking for the name. Mississippi State Quilt Collection. Anyway, if you're only going to buy one of the Quilt Folk magazines, buy the Mississippi edition. So good. There were so many interesting articles. What am I going to do now? Because I really want to cancel my subscription. And also, I don't need encouragement to do doll quilts. But of course, look at the encouragement to make doll quilts. Look.
Oh, that's so cute.
No.
You need a cool thingy, display thingy.
Anyway, love. Very happy. So I'm now, I think that's why I became obsessed with the quilting. It was like, I must finish these 5 quilts that I have on the go so that I can start another one.
I thought you weren't going to do any more. Remember the whole, I'm not
That
going to do any
decision-
more quilt conversations.
That decision was overridden a while back, like 2 days after I said it out loud. So anyway,
Have a look.
let me know if you read Quilt Folk. If you're a quilter, come on, how many people do cross stitch and quilting? Come on. There must be a mixture.
There must be a good overlap, because even I do the odd bit of quilting.
Yes. And also when I was having lunch.
That's a magnolia. And
Well
I knew
done.
it without reading the caption.
Well done, Victoria. I have 2 magnolia trees planted in my garden. And I had 2 in my other property, and we left it for the neighbours, for the people that bought them.
Lovely.
So when I was having lunch with Fiona, it was so great. We were both a bit like, I'm doing this, you're doing this, I'm doing this. It was very exciting, Victoria. And she put me onto Creative Bug, which is an online platform for teaching. But they've got this offer on at the moment that you can sign up for 2 months free.
Oh,
And you have to give them your credit card details. But then you have to remember to cancel before they start charging you in 2 months' time. So I'm going to do the Heidi Parks course. So Heidi Parks is a quilter. I always talk about her. She's amazing. See, look at my dangly earrings. They've got the
they're
danglies.
beautiful.
Danglies. Love them. So anyway, I've signed up for Creative Bug. And that is going to be my treat for tonight. Because I have the day off tomorrow. Because life is hard and I need holidays.
So jealous.
I'm sorry.
To go home and go to stupid work. Actually, work is not stupid. It facilitates my hobbies, so it's great.
Yes. So let me know if you're a quilter. I'd love... Shall we do a little offshoot quilting group? Does anyone want to do Zoom and quilt? I'm a little bit giddy. I don't like those.
Do you not? I quite like this.
I really appreciate them. And I appreciate the colours.
I don't know how you do
And
it,
what
though.
she's doing. But I don't love them. I don't feel like, oh, I want to make this. Because I'm a traditionalist at
I'm a
heart.
traditionalist at heart.
I just want traditional with wonkiness. So that, and also, have you all watched the International Quilt Museum YouTube channel? They've got over 100 videos, which I did watch ages ago, but now I've gone back, and I didn't watch them all. I watched 1 or 2, and now I'm obsessed. I'm watching them all. It's amazing. I came across it because there's a quilter called Basil something. It's really tricky because we don't say basil, we say basil.
Basil, yeah.
So every time they said basil something, I was like, basil.
Basil, you're saying it wrong. Basil.
Anyway, this guy's called Basil. Amazing quilter. Really interesting stuff. So go and have a look. International Quilt Museum at Lincoln, Nebraska YouTube channel. Amazing. So anyway, enough of this quilty shenanigans.
This is a good book.
It
Gorgeous.
is. It is. I mean, all of them are great pictorially, like great photos. But I really like the inclusivity. So if anybody, like yay quilt folk,
Yeah.
I'm saying, the writing is miles better than it used to be. So happy. So I enjoy the reading and the looking at the photos.
Excellent. Such a swap reading your magazines, not just looking at the pictures.
Oh, look at that pineapple quilt.
I know, it's just because I was going to ask you what that's called.
That's
so
a
I couldn't find
pineapple
a whole
quilt.
picture.
That's on my list of things to do. A pineapple quilt.
How do you do those? Is it just...
I can show you. It plays with your head a little bit, but it's actually not complicated. It's just straight lines, but it looks like it's going to play with your head.
It's good.
Yeah, it looks like it's maths heavy, and it isn't really.
It's beautiful.
Anyway, I've got craft pantry.
You have got craft pantry.
So, my friend Donahi and I, so a couple of weeks ago, I posted a video of an interview of a friend that I made through Flosstube, Donahi. She's a Mexican friend that lives in the States. When I met her, she lived in England, so we had that in common as well. It was great. Apparently, who knew? Our videos are set up, so even if you're watching the Flosstube in Spanish, you can get captions in English.
Oh, really? Because we were trying to work out how to turn those on, and we couldn't work it out.
Yeah, who knew? I mean, I did a lot of poking around once, months ago, so maybe I did something right. So anyway, so if you're interested in those...
I am. I want to see what we trans... I know it's only you that does the Spanish ones. So
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm not as funny as us together. But if you're interested, you can do the captions. So I only found out that because Nithya was doing it, because she started commenting. I was like, Nithya, do you know Spanish? This is so weird. And other people have said to me they watched the Spanish ones, and I thought it was funny. But maybe they're just doing the captions, and I just never got it. Duh. So anyway, I am planning to make a little series of interviewing lots of people. I'm actually interviewing somebody else tomorrow.
Ooh.
In Spanish. At some point I will interview in English, because interesting people in English as well.
So wait, the captions, do they translate into English?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, you can get captions in Spanish or in English.
Oh, nice.
Who knew?
Who knew? I'll have to investigate
Technology.
and watch your interview.
Yeah. So anyway, all that to say, Donahi
She
and
went shopping.
I are doing a stitch along together. Because I was talking to her and I was like, I'm going to do a mirabilia. So then I showed her and she was like, oh, let's sell it. And we've tried to sell things together in the past and it hasn't worked out. So anyway, we're selling it. So I was like, okay, give me a couple of weeks to get paid again and then I'll buy it. And that was like 6 weeks ago because I live in New Zealand. So it finally arrived today. And I had a terrible day. I was so unwell at work today.
We'd cancelled this at one stage.
We had cancelled this because
I was
I
looking
had...
forward to going home.
Yeah, I had really bad sinuses today. It was it was really a summer spring day today. I was walking around in this today. 1st of June, it was too hot to wear anything
And you were the
else.
first person to pull out a jersey if there's a jersey occasion.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Or jumper.
So my cardigan was in my bag, and I was walking around like this, showing off the design, of course. So I phoned Martin for sympathy. I was like, I am so unwell. My face is in so much pain. And he said, shall I pick you up? And it hadn't occurred to me that I could go home. Such an idiot. Anyway, he picked me up. I got into bed. Well, I actually had a shower. Then I got into bed. Because sometimes because I think there was
it's the
pollen.
shower and you
So
just-
sometimes the pollen
Yep.
just sits around in my head. And so I had a shower, washed things off, then got into bed. And within 20 minutes, I was almost right as rain. I have had a lot of chocolate in the afternoon to kind of get better. God, I'm talking a lot. So, what was the point of this?
You're going to show us your
Oh,
shopping.
yes. So then on the way home, because obviously he was feeling very sorry for me, he was like, when you get home, a parcel has arrived. And I was like, thank you, sweetie. Anyway, my mirabilia has arrived. And of course, I wasn't going to order just one thing. I ordered a few things in the process of deleting all my wish lists.
I know, I was very impressed. You have culled your wish list.
Have you had a look at it?
Yeah.
There's only like 4 things in it
Wow,
now.
you showed me. It's like
Oh.
gone from like 200 and something
Yeah,
down to...
yeah. Anyway, this is the mirabilia that we are going to stitch along to with lots of changes. So I'm probably going to use one of my new fabrics that I've dyed. So this mirabilia is called Winter.
And it's the 3rd in a series, and someone should complete the set.
I'm not going to do the set. And I'm not going to write winter on it, but I am going to probably write something because an opportunity to use Spanish. I'm thinking that if I do a really high count, this could be small enough to be a pocket.
It would be a gorgeous pocket.
Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking. I'm going to do a pocket on my apron, and that can be like a pseudo gardening apron. I don't use aprons. I just have an apron. But I thought that would be cool.
It'd be beautiful.
And what we're thinking of doing, Donahi and I, so we're selling this, we're selling in Spanish. And we're just going to do Zoom lives. Not Zoom lives. Maybe Instagram lives.
Yeah.
Because like the cool kids know how to do Instagram lives. So we'd probably do that and just get together and do stitching.
Cool.
We'll see if the older kids can figure it out. So anyway, that arrived. And I can see why people like the packaging. We've been admiring the packaging.
It's very nice.
And this is a photo. Oh no, it's a postcard. It's not a photo. It's a print. It's a printed sort of thingy.
A glossy postcard.
It's a glossy
very
postcard.
Nice.
It's very nice. I love it. First, Zeb, you were very giddy that I was going to do a Mirabilia. So this is the Mirabilia. If you want to sell it with us, you probably have it. Because you have an extensive collection. And so I bought a few other things that I really love and I wanted to make. So I bought this one called Home.
La-di-da, I like la-di-da.
From La-di-da. I like it because it's weird. Like, this is not architecturally correct, I don't think.
No.
So I loved it. I was coveting it. I've seen one Flosstube that has done it, and it looks amazing. So I'm doing that one. And then this one from Blackbird Designs, which is called The Garden Club. I'm only doing this one, which is series 3. And I like it because it's weird. And they do that thing where it's 2 different linens, and I've been really wanting to try that. So that's cool. You have to tell me which ones you want me to pass to you after I'm done. And then I have loved these pigs for as long as I've known of them. This is Stacey Nash, and it's called Spotted Pig Pin Keep. Love them. I can see my youngest would like a little pig something, so I'm going to do that. And the last one, which is a bit surprising for me, is this by All Through the Night, and it's called Oh Christmas Tree. Now, I don't really do Christmas. I don't really want to do a Christmas design. I was thinking I would possibly do an oval or a circle. So my plan would be to outline in like a back stitch or something, no, in a running stitch, an oval or a circle, and then embroider this and then fill in the gaps. So it's not a Christmas tree. Ta-da!
These 3.
God, she's greedy, isn't she?
Only just over 50%.
Excuse me, she's dissing my Mirabilia.
Because I would have to do all 4 of them.
Oh yeah, that's expensive, isn't it?
It's expensive.
Okay. Oh,
Plus, when I do a Mirabilia, it's going to be a mermaid.
That's right. I'm so pleased that you won 3 of these. That's fantastic. That makes a better value for money. And it is nice to share. And then we can laugh at the difference between the 2 of them. Okay.
No, I want to do this one, but I want to do like pink pigs. Ooh. I want to change the colours up.
Oh my God, Victoria has just said that she's going to change the colours.
Let's see if it actually... what's the one thing? No. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. Let's see if it actually happens. Yeah.
Eventuates.
Yes, that's the word, eventuate.
If you don't live in New Zealand, if you live outside of New Zealand, they say eventuate in New Zealand.
What are you supposed to say?
Happens.
Oh, no.
See if it happens.
Eventuate's the word I was looking for.
Yeah, I remember when we came across eventuates in New Zealand, we were like... This links to the conversation that I was having with Donahi about language, about how in England, much more traditional. New Zealand, English has been used here a lot less time, like 180 years or something. And so I think they're a bit more nimble with the language and they will create words. Like here they say eventuate.
Is that not a real word? Surely it's in a dictionary.
I'm not saying it's not a real word. I'm being very careful.
If I Googled it.
I'm being very careful not to say it's not a real word. But I will say that it's a word that I've only come across in New Zealand.
Because we're awesome here.
You also say flatting.
You do? You go flatting?
Yeah, so you don't say, I'm going to go and share a flat with someone.
No, you go flatting.
You go flatting. So we were talking about that because I find that strange in English.
Mm-hmm.
That these words have kind of been coined in New Zealand. But in Spanish, we also do that. And I'm all for doing it in Spanish, but in English it's like, oh no, I learned English in England, that's just wrong. But as a budding fan linguist, it's like, language is malleable and it changes and it belongs to the people. So I remember when I was about 20, I had very firm rules about if it was true or not, like real or not. But if 4 million people say eventuate, who is England to say that it's not a real word, right? That's what it is. Anyway.
Colonisers is what they are.
Exactly, exactly. So, just in case, you live outside of New Zealand, eventuate means happens. It didn't eventuate, it means it didn't happen. So there you go. Anyway, will Victoria embroider pink pigs when the pattern says black? That is the question.
Pretty sure she will.
I think so. You know what I would really like? This would be so cute.
I've been so inspired by your cross stitch.
Let's do a brooch together. We can have a wee pig
A
brooch.
wee piggy brooch!
Let's do that.
Because I've got to do my name tag. I could put it in my name tag.
Because you don't have a name tag yet.
No, I don't. No one knows who I am.
Can
I'm
we
stealth.
do that? Can we do that?
Yes.
I'd love to have. We could have like twin brooches,
Yes.
little pigs. Okay, you can join us and make a little pig brooch if you want to. This is so exciting.
I think
This
this is our best idea yet. We have to get...
This will get me through my girls flying out.
Yeah. Let's do it. Let's just do it. Because I know.
Pig on your chest, Sal. That sounds ridiculous. Let's do
awesome.
that.
All right. We'll
This is just ridiculous.
I was going to say we'll do it this weekend, but no, we'll better...
No, this weekend.
Okay.
This is completely ridiculous.
Everyone else wants to. We're going to have pig badges by the time you get here next weekend.
Okay, pig on
No,
your chest.
you're not coming. Oh my god.
Pig on
Next
your
time.
chest, Sal. Okay, you don't have to use this pattern, but if you have a pig,
We'll
like,
make a pig up.
this is so adorable. Oh, thank you. I'm very amused.
All right, I have to go find some thread.
Oh, this is so funny. We could just make lots of
How many
pigs.
colours do I need?
2?
Yeah, just 2.
Oh, this is too funny.
Oh,
Anyway,
cute.
so things to remember. If you want to do the Sal with the Mirabilia, we're going to do
No one wants to do that. They want to do pig on my chest.
pig on my chest Sal. Oh, I love that. I've coined a great Sal. Hashtag. I'm now thinking, how can we incorporate eventuate into the name?
Yeah, let's see if this eventuates.
Okay, so this is a Sal, and I'll speak to Donna here, and we're going to try and either. It can't be a Zoom live, but maybe we'll do Instagram live. We'll be like 2 people alone. And pig on my chest, Sal.
Yeah.
This is the best.
Just share your photos on...
Oh, share on Instagram and tag us.
Yeah, because you can't post photos onto YouTube comments, can you?
No,
very annoying.
No, I don't think so. But I am going to follow the tag pig on my chest, Sal, on Instagram. Yay!
Oh.
Life is good.
Are you going to do a big pig or a pig?
A little pig.
Me too. I was like, oh, let's hope we're not doing a whole big pig.
No, we're doing a little pig.
Little pig. How many dots? Oh, what each sort of... Because they've all got different number of spots on them. Oh, what pig and how many spots? What does that say about you?
This is too funny. Anyway, enough nonsense. It's an hour and 8 minutes. We're talking rubbish now.
All right. What's plans?
Oh, I'm going to make a pig on my chest. Tomorrow I'm interviewing someone. I'm going to tell Donna here about the style that is starting. I'm going to continue stinking my house up with natural dyeing. And I'm going to find the other quilt. And I'm going to start and maybe even finish my circle quilt.
Nice.
Because I'm on, like, I want to get done so that I can do the other quilts.
I like
And
that
lots
you're
of
making
cross
yourself
stitch.
finish before you start new ones.
I might fail. 'cause
It's so
there's a lot.
sensible. Yeah.
Once I've put the 3 layers together and I'm quilting, I don't mind starting a new
Oh,
quilt.
no, but you did get all your tops finished. 'Cause
Yeah.
you had quite a few on the go at one stage.
I now have 3 completed. I have 2 more almost completed.
Nice.
Yes. Okay.
Nice.
Cool. What about you? What are your plans?
Home
sweet
sweet
home.
home. I'm also working on another. Sorry, I'm pointing. I'm also working on another project which I completely forgot to bring
Oh.
through the guild. It's a Richicella drum, which is really cool. It's got like cut threads or pulled threads or something. I know, it's awesome. I meant to bring it, forgot, so I'll bring that next time. And pig on my chest cell because I think that is now my new favourite thing. And cross stitch to fill in the blanks because I'm coming to Catherine's house to stitch on a day.
Sunday.
Sunday.
I was going to say Victoria ate dinner here tonight.
Did have
because
great dinner.
Martin cooked, because life's good like that. But I'm feeding you lunch, so you can just focus on stitching.
Yeah.
I'm actually wondering, oh no, we're filming on your phone, so you can't show us.
No, I can't.
Okay, Victoria's doing this hilarious crown.
It is not hilarious. It is awesome.
So funny.
And it's being posted my way now, so you will see it soon.
Okay, and I just want people to tell us if they're doing it, because I'm just so amused by it.
Oh,
Victoria's going to be Pope ready.
serious stitches do this one.
Pope ready.
Serious stitches.
Pope ready or king ready. There's going to be a crown in her house. So funny.
Awesome one.
There's going to be a crown and a pig on your chest.
Yes, there is.
Okay, well, have a lovely fortnight.
Yeah, we'll see you
We'll
again.
see you soon. I hope
Lovely
you've been
fortnight.
amused by our shenanigans.
Oh, if you made it to the pig on your chest bit, you did well.
And thank you for your lovely comments and your support and just being good sports.
Yeah.
All right, kakite.
Kaki day.